Alrighty. Where am I? Lost myself. Oh, here we are. Oh, hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We'll go ahead and get started with the event in just a few minutes, but we did want to let everyone in, get settled in for the first couple of minutes. But we'll get right started around 3:05. Hi, everyone. It's good to see so many awesome faces join us today. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Alrighty. Well, in the meantime, I love that everyone has their undocumented backgrounds, but I'm going to go ahead and share the link for those of you who might not have access to them just yet. And I appreciate all of you having those up for this week, and as long as you want them. I know we have really amazing Zoom backgrounds in general, but I would appreciate all of you having the backgrounds for Undocumented Action Week all this week. I think the students would really love to see those up. Thank you.
It's Monday, and the weekend's barely starting. And it's so packed full of events and webinars from the foundation and the chancellor's office. It's exciting. I love seeing all the little butterflies flying around on all the screens. Like there's little butterflies everywhere. And my apologies. I completely forgot we have interpreters in the house, and I should be polite and introduce myself. My name is Nancy Navarro, and I'm from the EOPS program.
Thank you for that, Nancy. I will go ahead and also introduce myself. My name is Vanessa Morales, and I'm the coordinator for Undocumented Student Services, first year experience in Summer Bridge. Again, thank you all for being here. For those of you who just joined us, we will get started in just a few minutes, about 3:05. So you have a few minutes to get comfortable, grab a coffee. But again, thank you all for joining us. Alrighty, Nancy, I don't know if you want to go ahead and get started. I know we have about 30 minutes scheduled for this welcome event. We did want to have something to open up our week of events for Undocumented Action Week. We thought it was important to bring the community here today to just, let you all know what Undocumented Student Action Week is all about. And we do have some special guests, Melissa Cervantes, Dr. Melissa Cervantes is joining us, and Dr. Bishop will be joining us shortly. But I'll go ahead and let Nancy get us started. Thank you, Nancy.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nancy Navarro Lesa, and it is my honor and privilege to be here today to kick off our Undocumented Student Action Week. Today, we also, like Vanessa said, we will have our college president join us. Our Dean of Equity, Melissa, is here, and we're so grateful for her presence. Other administrators like myself, our Undocu Ally team, who supporting undocumented immigrant communities is a priority. But before I introduce them, let me give you a little historical context about undocumented student work at Ohlone and some personal context. I am a proud immigrant refugee from El Salvador and a proud previous Ohlone and EOPS student. But I didn't always feel so proud. In my early beginnings in this country, I felt scared, sometimes every day. Even when I was pretending to be strong, I felt like I didn't belong. People didn't understand my experience, or why my mother would abandon her children and cross the border. Why would anyone subject themselves to so much danger and hardship? There was no empathy, only judgment. Naturally, I just wanted to hide, always in the shadows. I had no sense of direction, no purpose, and my experience was not validated or reflected in anything around my environment. At Ohlone, which became my transformational ground, a college that I hold so near and dear to my heart, the transformation did not come easy. Trust barely existed, and meaningful engagement was not readily available. There were no centers that I could seek refuge. There were no images or spaces or discussions like this. It was something to be ashamed of, to keep quiet, a secret that could be devastating for the family in the wrong hands. There was no one to relate to, or at least connect from a place of empathy. Because my pain and fear ran so deep, it was not apparent. Despite of all of this, Ohlone has always had its allies, those who have been doing the work all along, building community and trust one student at a time, despite of the shortfall on formal focus on documented student work. It was through finally connecting with those like Extended Opportunities Programs and Services, Fuente, Mecha, the great counselors from all those programs, staff from financial aid, admissions and records, faculty who invested time in me outside of the classroom. Let me emphasize that. Invested time in me outside of their classroom. This was when trust began to sprout. They all became my village of support. This year, I am so incredibly grateful and proud. It is the first year that formal undocumented student services has only begun to sprout. Through the efforts and persistence of our Undocu Ally team, composed of many staff, faculty, administrators, the Latin Retention and Recruitment Committee, who we are a subgroup of, our Student Equity and Achievement, through which efforts we now have an Undocu Ally coordinator, Vanessa Morales, whose commitments and efforts are inspiring. It has not been an easy road. There's been a lot of long days, weekends, many bumps along the way, but the seeds have been planted. We can now focus efforts on our undocumented students' journey, hear their stories, try to understand their fears, their lack of trust, their challenges along the way, and look at the many ways that we can fulfill those needs. Our college right now is in a great place with top leadership who is not only ready for this new journey, but who truly embraces a holistic approach to supporting our undocumented community. But let us be honest, there's a lot of healing to begin. There will be difficult conversations of racism, stereotypes, and how do we as educators contribute to that healing process? Healing from discrimination is a journey that often involves reliving trauma, experiencing shame, guilt, and anxiety every time you relive that experience. But it's necessary. This journey can be a bumpy ride, to say the least. And before we begin healing, we need to understand the role and the history, the experience and the journey of undocumented communities. This will require us to come from a place of humility and humanity, to continue learning and unlearning. We hope that through our Undocumented Student Action Week, filled with the state webinars, Ohlone events and initiatives, you can join us in bringing about dialogue, fostering trust, and paving the way for programming and services designed with the unique needs of undocumented students in mind. Most importantly, we hope to discover the building blocks to creating a healing community in a world still filled with microaggressions and discrimination against undocumented immigrants. This work is not just about ending racial ideology and perception. It is about racial liberation for those whose voices is stifled and whose presence is elusive. This journey is one that we must take together. It will require everyone, but it promises the possibility of moving through this pain and grief to experience the hope, the resilience, and the freedom that will provide the humanity to support undocumented communities genuinely. Again, I am so thankful for your time here today. I realize you could be anywhere, but you chose to be here today, and I only have gratitude. And now, it's time for me to introduce some of our other top administrators who are here in this space because supporting undocumented communities is their top priority. I want to see, who's here first? I'm sorry, I'm trying to look at the little screen.
Dr. Cervantes is here.
Cervantes, yes, it is my pleasure to introduce our Dean of Equity, Dr. Cervantes, who always goes out of her way to be here with us and supports us in many ways in this work.
Oh, no, thank you, Nancy. As Nancy said, my name is Melissa Cervantes. I'm the Executive Dean of Equity, Inclusivity, and Campus Diversity here at Ohlone. I'm so honored to be here and to have the opportunity to say a few words at our Undocumented Student Action Week welcome event. This is actually my first Undocumented Student Action Week since I've been hired here at Ohlone, and it makes it all the more exciting to know that this is also the first year that we have a designated person and department dedicated to lead the important work of serving our undocumented students. I've learned, and as we just heard from Nancy, the commitment to equity and support of undocumented students is longstanding here at Ohlone, although historically it has been at the individual hands of many coming together as a community, often having to create a patchwork of time, resources, and support to make things happen. But through the advocacy of folks like Nancy, the C Task Force, LLRC, and the UndocuAlly team, we now have institutionalized support with our new Undocumented Student Services Coordinator, Vanessa Morales, and even statewide funds to better serve our undocumented population. For those that have historically engaged in the fight for these resources, we know how tremendous these strides are. The undocumented community is one that is close to my heart and lives and breathes in the history of my family. I would not be here had it not been for those before me that were unafraid to step, crawl, or swim across a government-imposed invisible line in the dirt. So I'm beyond thrilled, not only as the Dean of Equity and an alumna of this college, but even more so as the granddaughter, daughter, and wife of immigrants to be here in this community with you all to witness this come to fruition here at Ohlone College. And despite these great successes, we are not done. There is more work to do on the shoulders of us all here at the college for our undocumented students to feel like valued members of our college community. Ohlone is on a journey and we are embarking on a cultural shift, one that's going to require us to all reflect deeply on how we impact the student experience, and one that asks us to center our vulnerable and disproportionately impacted students. That means centering our undocumented students, listening and learning from their stories, and using that lens not only to make changes to our policies and practices, but also to shift our attitudes and behaviors. It is the culture of a college that determines whether a student feels welcome or not, feels supported or not, feels that they belong or don't. And it doesn't take long for a student to determine that, the culture of a campus. 1 or 2 interactions is all it takes. So what do we want those interactions to say? How do we want them to feel? We, the Ohlone community, make up that culture. Our attitudes and our behaviors determine what those interactions will say and how they will feel to our students. I hope that we can continue to learn and grow, and I challenge us all to reflect on how we individually and collectively can continue to uplift our undocumented students to help them feel safe and supported. I'm grateful for the historical work and fight that had to happen so that we could arrive to this place. And I'm so proud of my community, my Ohlone community, for continuing to work and strive so that we continue to do better for our students. So I hope to see many of you again this week, as there's an incredible lineup of events happening, both sponsored by the college and the chancellor's office. Nancy and Vanessa, thank you so much for organizing a fantastic week and for allowing me to share my thoughts today.
Thank you, Dr. Cervantes. This is exactly why she's an ally, and we've come to depend on her voice and support, and she's just one of the other first ones to show up. Thank you, Melissa. Next, I want to see, is Dr. Dre in the room yet? No, oh, but Dr. Bishop just got here.
Yes.
Dr. Bishop is here also. I don't know, I don't think I need to introduce him. He's in all the buses, you know, down the neighborhood.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Vanessa. Welcome all, and my apologies for being late. I was talking to our accrediting team. But I am so honored to be here with us today. I'm honored to be part of a college that celebrates our undocumented students, and not just celebrates them, but welcomes them and encourages them and pushes them and lets them know that they're welcome. And my experience has been that welcome has to be far beyond the student. That it's not just, I mean, we really should be calling this Undocumented Students and Families Week, because we know that the concerns, the dreams, the desires go beyond the student and have to resonate in the household as well. And that's who in my seat, I want Ohlone to be. I want us to be that college that no matter who you are, no matter what your background, no matter what your space is, that you can walk here, as Melissa was just saying, and know that you are home, and know that you have a champion, and know that you have people who are going to get you to where your dreams are, because we all have dreams, and too often we allow a status to deter those dreams, and Ohlone needs to be the place where those dreams flourish and grow and are realized. And so I appreciate being here. I appreciate the week. I look forward to it. I'm looking at the group of folks here and know that it is not only a bunch of allies, but a bunch of champions. And I can't think of a better group I'd love to be in conversation with and work with for our undocumented students and families. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bishop, for always showing up and being present. I think, Vanessa, we don't have no one else to show up to introduce, right? Okay, so I think I'm gonna leave it to Vanessa now. Vanessa's our coordinator that has been organizing all the different events, initiatives, and has been doing an amazing job. So she's gonna kind of tell us what the week entails. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nancy, and thank you, Dr. Cervantes and Dr. Bishop, for joining us today. I do also want to say that it is my first Undocumented Action Week that I participated on, my first time at a community college doing it as well. So I'm super proud, super excited. I did want to really quickly just introduce myself once more. My name is Vanessa Morales, and I'm a proud immigrant and ESL student from Bolivia. Although I was not undocumented myself, I do relate to a lot of the stories that our students go through. So I have a deep passion and commitment to the success of our undocumented students. And I'm honestly more than honored to be here today as Ohlone's inaugural Undocumented Student Services Liaison and Coordinator. It gives me great joy to have given that role and that just trust to build the services needed for our undocumented students. But before I give you an overview of our week of events, I also want to take a time to thank everyone. Like Nancy mentioned, that this work didn't start today. This work didn't start with me. It started with allies. It started with advocates who were committed to the success of undocumented students way before I got here. It's just been a work that's been done in the shadows for many, many years. And people working extra hours to make sure their undocumented students are successful here at our campus. So again, I'm happy and proud to carry on that torch for everyone and make you all proud and make sure that our students are served and advocated for throughout my entire tenure here, for everyone that is. I am proud to build those services or build on everything and the work that's been done already prior to me. And again, I want to make sure that we adequately serve our undocumented students that are currently at Ohlone, but also around the communities. We have so many undocumented students who aspire to come to Ohlone, and we need to make sure that we're bringing down those obstacles that might be preventing them from enrolling at our campus. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done. So I'm proud to start that work as well in collaboration with all of you. And again, thank you for being here today. And my hope is that by celebrating an Undocumented Action Week this week, it will be one of many ways in which Ohlone will demonstrate their commitment to the success of undocumented students. And with that being said, I also want to thank my planning committee. I didn't do it alone. I had a lot of help. And I'm really thankful for that. So I want to thank my Student Action Week Planning Committee, Nancy Navarro. She's an amazing leader. I don't know where I would be right now if I didn't have her leadership. She's made my transition as smooth as it can be. So thank you so much, Nancy. And Eli, Melissa, Adela, Jasmine, and Jolene, I really want to thank you for being part of my planning committee, as well as Elizabeth. You'll always have my back and support me through everything. So thank you so much. And I do want to give a special thanks to one of my students, Ingrid Cruz, was an incoming first-year student, has already hit the floor running. She's part of FYE, she's part of Summer Bridge, she's part of Puente, she's part of Mecha. So this is the kind of student that we're serving here at Ohlone. And I am so happy and thankful to have her be part of my planning committee. And she will be part of the panel tomorrow. So please attend that panel tomorrow. Very, very important conversations to have. But yeah, with that being said, please, I will go ahead and just go and give you an overview of what we have planned for the rest of the week. I am sorry if I've been bombarding you with a bunch of emails and flyers and just reminders, but I really want to make sure that I do the best that I can to make sure that our students, staff, and faculty are aware of what we have to offer, and know that it comes from a place of love, and hoping that the students really get to enjoy it and benefit from what we have to do. With that being said, I am sad that we had to postpone one of them, but it is being rescheduled for either later this semester, if not spring semester, so look out for that. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Alrighty, here we go. So the first thing that I do want to mention is that we did have a campaign going on. Sorry, give me one second. There you go. We did have a campaign going on, the Butterfly Campaign. We got a lot of wonderful responses from a lot of you on campus. The inspiration behind this was to make sure that our students knew that they had allies on campus and they had a space to share their stories as well. And if you are on campus, you can walk through building 7, you'll see a lot of them are already up. We're still in the process of installing more butterflies, but if you want to take a look at those, there's wonderful, inspiring messages for our students. There's students who are sharing their stories as well, and it's just a beautiful display of support and allyship on campus. So if you haven't gotten a chance to participate, we're still taking responses for that, and we will keep it up as long as possible. And it's something that we can revisit in future events as well. But if you haven't done that, your response yet, please do so. And if you have already, thank you so much for supporting the campaign. Again, I just want to give you an overview of our events. We do have a full week of events. These in the darker purple are sponsored by our Chancellor's office. So, and they're open to everyone. So if you want to participate, you are able to participate on those. The lighter purple ones are on-campus events that we're sponsoring, starting with our roundtable tomorrow. If you haven't RSVP'd yet, please do so. And you can also just join a few minutes before, that's perfectly fine. But I have been sending reminders on that. I'll drop all the flyers once I'm done presenting. Please feel free to continue to share with your students. I know students are already kind of overwhelmed with too many emails, but maybe when they see it from someone that they know, they are more willing to open that email and see what's going on. So please share. Alrighty, let me move this around. And then I also want to remind you that we have a wonderful, wonderful guest speaker on Wednesday, Yosimar Reyes. A lot of you might have known him already. He's super, super active on social media. He's an amazing, well-known, nationally acclaimed poet and public speaker. I hope all of you can join us for that event. It's going to be really wonderful. And we also have our Know Your Rights workshop. I did not pull up that flyer, but we do have a Know Your Rights workshop on Wednesday. On Thursday that you can also attend and refer your students to it. And last but not least, we also have our Undocumented transfer info session that's going to be presented by Catherine Alfaro on Friday. So again, please refer your students to all these events. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always available for suggestions, also for upcoming events or workshops that you think will be beneficial for undocumented students. And I'm always open to collaborating with anyone on campus. So please feel free to utilize me as a resource for your students. Refer your students to me if they need any assistance. I'm here for them. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer those for all of you. And I'm gonna go ahead and also share our Zoom backgrounds once more for those of you who might not have access to them yet. But with that, I just want to say thank you all for being here today. Thank you for supporting Undocumented Student Action Week. We hope to see you at more events, and we hope to see you in future events as well. And I'll keep you posted on all the services. Thank you, everyone. And I'll stick around if anyone has any questions. And if not, Nancy?
If not, I think we're done. I think just start calendaring all the events that you're going to attend to, and we hope to see you on some of those events. And we look forward to learning and joining and building community with all of you in support of our students. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you all. Have a wonderful week.
But if you want to stick around and have questions for us, me and Vanessa will stick around.
Thank you so much, Karen.
Hey, Mike.
Jenna.
Of course.
Thank you, interpreter ladies. I think we're good.
Thank you so much.
Next one.
Thank you. Good luck with this week.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much. Hey, Mike. How's it going?
Hey.
Hi.
Are
Are you going to be able to make any events?
Yeah. So I booked a couple in my schedule here.
Yeah.
Where did get those backgrounds? I have no.
I just sent you the link.
Oh, yeah. Look at the chat. Vanessa just put the link for him.
Oh, okay.
I just sent it again. There's a couple. There's like 4 different ones that you can choose from.
Hey, are you going to make it to our roundtable tomorrow?
No, my son has this hip issue. So they're referring us to a pediatric orthopedic
Oh,
in
no.
San Leandro. So that's gonna, yeah, be around 11:30, and I have no time. I have no idea. I've never been there before. To the new Kaiser.
Oh, it's nice. It's a really nice hospital. Really nice. Yeah, it's really nice. And there's plenty of parking too, but you're not going to be nowhere near home or a computer. Yeah, forget it. Just wondering, because of some questions that might come up that I had you in my mind. I'm like, oh, those are questions that a counselor is going to know, and the counselor can start talking to that. But it's okay. We're going to have follow-up ones, so it's not a big deal.
All right, Karen came back. I'm wondering, did you have any questions?
There was another event for the first one for the mental health.
Yeah, that one got postponed.
Yeah.
Okay. I did not get it.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
Yeah. Thank you so much for checking in.
Oh, of course. Yeah. And good luck for the rest of your week. I'll see you in a couple of the other
Thank
weeks.
you.
Yeah.
See ya.
Thank you.
Is the Know Your Rights? Is that one on Wednesday?
That one's on Thursday.
Thursday at 11?
No, it's gonna be in the afternoon. Let me pull it up for you. The